loud.
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Classics Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. And this guy here came out as part of the first wave of the Classics line and was meant to be a modern take on the classic look of Optimus Prime, and I think they did a really good job of this. This guy is just really cool. He's back to being the flat cab, and you know, he's got the wind vane, and he's got just all this modern look to him. You know, this guy looked like a truck that you would see on the road when he came out, and I really love the way this guy looks. Released in 2006, this guy originally retailed for about $20. Here in truck mode, he's approximately 6.5 inches long and about 3.5 inches tall at the top of the wind vane and the exhaust pipes here. As far as detail goes, again, this guy is just loaded with it. You know, you can see the detail on the door there. You can see he's a very massive flat cab, modern looking truck. Now, if you're familiar with this mold, you might notice that there's a lot more detail on this than what originally came with it. You can see some chrome on the smokestacks here. You can see some chrome on the bumper and some little details that weren't really part of the original offering. And that's because I got a set of reproduction stickers for this guy that were meant to enhance the look of him. So you're going to notice that in both truck mode and in robot mode, he's got a little more detail. He's got some chrome detail to him and stuff like that, and that's because of the stickers. So in case you weren't familiar with it, that's why it looks a little bit different. Now, as far as the truck mode goes, really, I don't think there's much else to say on here. There wouldn't be anything that I would change on this. I absolutely adore this truck mode. Again, I was a truck driver when I was in the military, and you know, I really love trucks. I'm one of those guys that just loves big trucks, and I absolutely adore the way this looks. I really love it. So let's get into the transformation then. Transformation is really cool. It's got a couple of. I love the way they integrated. This is one of those figures that integrates the weapons into the vehicle mode. So before you even start transforming him, you're going to go ahead and pop off the smokestacks here. And if you go inside the smokestacks, there's these two pieces on the inside. So you go ahead and just reach in there and pop those out. Take the whole thing, fold it in half. This back piece here is going to come off, and then the whole thing is going to clip together, and that creates a rifle that's going to be for Optimus Prime. And I think that's just so awesome, the way they just took those smokestacks and integrated them into the vehicle and made that transform into the weapon. I think that's so cool. Same thing goes for the wind vane. The wind vane also comes off. Now, you can leave the wind vane attached and transform the whole thing into the robot and have the wind vane attached to the back. I prefer to go, just for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and remove it and show you the transformation. Typically, I leave the wind vane attached to the back. We'll see that when we get into the robot. But for the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you the weapon mode. So that wind vane folds in half, and it's going to clip together just like that. Then this bottom piece here is going to come out. And then one more time, there's another bottom piece that's also going to swing out. And that's going to create a long rifle. You can see the handle down here, and that's going to create the rifle. Now, one quick thing about a rifle. I actually like the design of this rifle. I think the way it's designed, the whole look of it and everything, I think this works as a weapon. I don't think the color works. Now, unfortunately, if this was like silver or black, I think it would actually be more convincing as a weapon. However, if you were to paint this thing, the entire thing silver or black, and you mount it to the top of the truck, it's going to be very obvious, and it's not going to blend in with the rest of the truck or anything like that. So it's understandable that the paint is what it is on this thing. But it's unfortunate because as far as in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make for a convincing weapon, and it's only because of the colors. Because the design, I think, makes for a cool weapon. So, you know, I'm kind of 50-50 on that. But anyway, there's the wind vane rifle, and we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. And then we'll continue with the transformation on the truck. So the side panels here for the side skirts, go ahead and fold these all the way back. Fold that back, fold that back. This whole back here, you're gonna already see that these are gonna be the legs. So go ahead and bring these guys all the way down. Down here, these are going to flip up. Those are going to be the feet. These pieces here are going to be the knee plates, so go ahead and fold those up. And I'm going to wait until I'm done to separate the legs here, just to keep them out of the way. If you go up top here, go to the front, I like to hold these pieces right here while I'm doing this. These whole panels on the front, these are going to pop off and just kind of rotate out. They just kind of flap out just like that. So, and the thing of the reason that I like to hold them is because if you don't, when you try to fold them out, if you don't hold that in, if you okay, my tongue decided to stop working. When you flap this out, if you don't hold this in, that happens. See what I mean? So I like to hold that down while I'm pulling these out. It just works easier that way. So once you got those out, you can see that these are going to become the arms. So go ahead and bring these out and then rotate them. Up here at the top, these are going to be the shoulders. So go ahead and rotate these up and then just leave them out for now. Just leave them up and out like that for now, and they'll be out of the way. Back here, this piece is where the wind vane was attached. Go ahead and just kind of fold this down and out of the way. The head is sitting right there, the robot head. So go ahead and bring the head up. And then once the head is up, you're going to bring it all the way forward, just like that, okay? Go ahead and take this piece, and let me see if I can get this in the camera. If you can see, there's a hinge right in there. So go ahead and this block right here, rotate this block all the way up. And what that does is that creates a little divot right here, like a seat for the back tab on the head. So when you bring the head back down, it's going to stay up. It's not going to go back in again. See how that works? And then this piece here, you got a hinge here and a hinge here. So go ahead and bring this all the way down. And then bring this last piece back up again. And now that's done and out of the way. Go ahead and rotate the top of the robot just up here from the windows up. You're going to go ahead and rotate this whole thing all the way around. I'm stuck on something and I don't know what because I'm looking through the camera. Okay, there we go. We're there. Now, I'm going to go back around to what was the front of the truck. Right here, the grill and the bumper. Go ahead and take this bumper, and I like to fold it up. And I like to bring it up and over all the way just to get the wheels up and out of the way there. Otherwise, they're just hanging down by his butt. I'm going to bring the camera up just a little bit. Okay, and we're almost done. Now, the arms here, arms are pretty cool. You go ahead and stretch the arms all the way out. Then this right here is going to be the fist. Go ahead and stretch that out. And these panels here, you got two panels on hinges. You got this panel and this panel. So this first panel is going to come up and over. And then it's going to come over one more time. So that's going to flap twice. And then this last panel is going to come down. And then you rotate it up away from the fist. Go ahead and straighten the arm so that this yellow piece is facing forward or the same side as the Autobot symbol. And bring the arm down. You're done. Same thing on the other side. Go ahead and stretch the arm out. Stretch out the fist. Bring the flap up and over. And then up and over again. There it is. And then one last time with this big panel. And then fold it up. And then get the yellow piece to face the same side as the Autobot symbol. We can separate our legs now. And there is Classic Optimus Prime in robot mode. And I think this guy just looks so cool. It's a very cool update to the classic look of Optimus Prime. You know, you can see this guy, and he's very obviously Optimus Prime. You know, he's very reminiscent of what the cartoon, the way they drew him in the cartoon and some of the comics did. Here in robot mode, he stands approximately 7 inches tall. As far as articulation goes, he's got great articulation. The head, you can look down a little bit because of the way the transformation works. You can kind of make him look down, but it's not on a ball joint. But you can make him go all the way around. The shoulders can rotate all the way around. They can also go in and out. You've got a ratchet joint right here at the elbow, so you can actually go all the way back, which would hurt, and you can go all the way forward. No fist rotation, unfortunately. This was 2006, though, so there wasn't a whole lot of that back then. You do have a waist rotation, which is really cool that they put that in there because this actually serves no purpose for the transformation. You typically get waist rotations when they're part of the transformation, and in this case, they just put it in there because they wanted it to be cool, so I think that works. You have a little bit of rotation up here as well on the top of the torso. That is part of the transformation, and you're not going to get very far with it because of the bumper and the grill back here, but you can get a little bit of rotation out of it, so you can get some, it can make for some dynamic poses, and that's really cool. The hips are on a universal joint, so you can go in and out, you can go forward and backwards with them. You got a rotation right above the knee. You got a full knee, so you can go all the way to the back, and you got a little bit of forward and backwards tilt on the legs, or on the feet rather. So he's pretty good with articulation, and remembering that this figure came out in 2006, that's actually pretty good, I would say, for articulation on this guy. Now we can give him his weapons back. Here's the first one. This was the weapon that we made out of the smokestacks. This guy can fit right here. And then we got the Wind Vane rifle, and this guy can peg right here. You know, both peg. You can put either weapon on either arm, whichever one suits you best. So there you go. There are his weapons. And again, you know, I think the smokestack weapons works really, really, really well. I'm not too crazy about the Wind Vane weapon. You know, like I said, the design of it is okay. It works as a weapon, but because of the colors, it just completely kills it for me. So here's what I like to do. Usually, I don't use the Wind Vane as a weapon. You can go ahead and store the Wind Vane on his back. So we're going to go ahead and transform this back. Just take that peg on the front, what is the front of the barrel, fold that in, fold this front, the front half, I guess, of the rifle, fold that back in, and then split this guy right here at the top, and open it all the way, and you got your Wind Vane. Now, if you go to the back of the figure here, the peg, this is the peg that was on the top of the truck. This is the same peg that the Wind Vane was originally attached to. It was on the top of the truck, now it's on the back. And you can go about this two ways. I've seen people, this seems to be a very popular way to put this. I've come to find out lately is to put the Wind Vane facing down like that. And that's kind of what it would look like from the front. And it's not terrible. It doesn't show through the on the front. You know, if you're just looking at the figure from the front, it doesn't show through all the way, and from the back it kind of looks like a cohesive backpack. Personally, I prefer it this way. You know, from the back it looks very obvious, like a Wind Vane just stuck there. It makes for a backpack. But when you're looking at the figure from the front, even though the Wind Vane sticks up a little higher, you don't have all of this off to the sides like the other side did. So personally, I like it better like this than the other way around. It's really up to you, whichever you feel looks better for you. Let me get this guy straightened up here, and then let me get him into a cool pose here. I really like this figure here. So there you go. There's Classics Optimus Prime in robot mode. Again, I really like the way that this figure looks. I think it's a very cool, updated look for the Classic Optimus Prime. If there was anything that I was going to change on this, however, it would be this. This, I think, is a shame. I know that he was represented in comics with these panels on the side, and so I guess as far as the comics go, this is kind of accurate. But this is just one thing that I have never been able to get used to with this figure, are these panels. These are what were the front, or the side windows rather, for the truck, and the front headlights. They're just kind of hanging there on the forearms, and I've never been able to get used to that. No matter how much I try. I mean, I love the figure. I love the way this figure looks, but it's just one thing I've never been able to get used to. So, and honestly, I don't know that they would have been able to put it anywhere else. You know, when you look at the figure, I don't know engineering-wise how they could have gone around this. And you know, usually I look at these, when I look at a figure, I'm like, you know, I think this could have gone over here or whatever. I don't know how they could have done away with this. I really don't. But it's a bit of a shame that it ended up where it ended up, because it's just, for me personally, it's very obtrusive. And I've never been able to get used to the look of just these big giant panels hanging from his forearms there. But other than that, I absolutely adore this figure. This thing is just so cool. I love the way it looks. So I think that about covers Transformers Classics Optimus Prime. Please leave me a comment. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.